Sorry.
The CoinDesk Spotlight is brought to you by Nexo, the place to earn on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and more.
Alrighty, in the spotlight today, the Australian Open tennis star Novak Djokovic and the Metaverse. Australian government authorities yesterday cancelled Djokovic's visa to enter the country. The tennis superstar thought he could play in the games with a medical exemption to get around vaccine requirements, but now he's holed up in a quarantine hotel in Melbourne awaiting a court hearing in his fight to overturn the ban on his entry. This must come as somewhat disappointing news to our new guests who are taking the Australian Open to the Metaverse. But it also raises interesting questions about how real-world rules and problems will play out in this strange new digital arena. Joining us to discuss their project is Ridley Plummer, Australian Open Metaverse and NFT project manager, and Adam Cata of Run It Wild, blockchain studio and metaverse specialists. Welcome, guys.
Hi, Michael. Thanks for having us.
Good to have. We've had Aussies now twice on the show this week, and so I'm feeling like this effort that we're making to take over the world is making some progress. So thank you for helping me in my crusade to colonize certainly the crypto world.
Absolutely, we'll take over eventually.
Eventually, yeah. It's a subtle takeover. Talk us through what this is all about. What is the user going to experience through the metaverse and NFTs and the Aussie Open?
Yeah, so the Aussie Open has been known for a long time as being one of the most innovative and forward-thinking Grand Slams or sporting events globally. So it was kind of a natural progression for us to move into the next space, which we decided was the metaverse. And what we wanted to do was create as replicable representation of Melbourne Park as possible. So we chose to jump straight into Decentraland and recreate every element that we could of Melbourne Park. So when someone visits in Decentraland, they get so many elements and more than they can actually get in at Melbourne Park. So they can see live vision, they can see behind the scenes vision, they can access areas that they can't otherwise access in real life. So we wanted to replicate as much of the on-site experience as possible. And then with the NFTs, we wanted to engage with the tennis community and the NFT community in a way that hadn't been done before. And it was really important for us to create a groundbreaking NFT that no one had done before. And we were using our data and our technology and our abilities to bring those together with sport and art to create what we think is a real game changer in the NFT space.
Thank you so much. That's a good explanation of the overview of what's happening. Can we just go a little bit deeper though into why you guys are doing this? I mean, are there certain features that can only be done in the metaverse that can't be done in real life, or just to get obviously it's a very cool project, but are there certain things that you can do here that you couldn't do in the sort of traditional space?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Melbourne Park is almost built from scratch every year. So there's facilities there that exist, but then the rest is built. And we have a creative team that works on that for months and months to bring an amazing experience to the fans that come every year. But what we've found in the last 2 years is that we're challenged with how many fans can actually come on site now and where they can come from. And it's much more of a localized community that comes in. So we kind of wanted to take it back to the world as well and provide those people that can't make it to Melbourne at the moment with an experience that is as close as we can possibly get to bringing them into Melbourne Park and giving them that on-site experience. And as you said, there's going to be things that they can do in Decentraland where that might be gamified, or they might get access to vision that you can't otherwise see on your free-to-air television or on your on site when you're at the Australian Open. So we wanted to ensure that people had value when they came in, and the event goes for 14 days. So what we do at the event in real life is try and draw people back day after day. So whether they come on day one with their family and their kids and they explore the ballpark and have fun with the family, or they come back 2 days later as a couple on date night and have a glass of champagne and dinner at a fancy restaurant, we want to draw people back time and time again, and we need to provide an enormous amount of content to do that in the virtual world. And we're extremely fortunate that we have 50 years of archive footage in the can to replay to people that they probably haven't seen before. We've also got a huge content team throughout the Australian Open that's producing an enormous amount of content day in, day out that we'll be able to pipe back into Decentraland as well.
Maybe Adam, since you're there presumably like laying out the design of this and how it all works, you can tell us a little bit about what that content looks like, though, because I mean, surely you're not sort of wrapping all the players in live action capture suits and things like that, right? So you're not going to be watching live avatars playing against each other, or are you? I mean, what is the visual experience here if you're actually watching live tennis? Is it just a video feed, and why wouldn't I just go and watch that on my TV?
There's a video feed that's live streaming in, but there's also a whole heap of other content to complement it all. There's obviously gaming, gamified aspects, but there's also a question and conversation around Decentraland and other metaverses and virtual worlds being social platforms that are no different from Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat. You could say the same thing about all other brands and how they use social platforms to connect with different communities. And here we've got the Australian Open and their metaverse strategy that's connecting to a crypto native community.
So, Adam, Ridley, I mean, Happy New Year, first of all. But second of all, as Michael alluded to, Novak Djokovic is not playing, or looks like he might not be playing. Does that, you have a big name, a big draw, who won't be able to or might not be able to play in the actual Australian Open, does that affect demand for this? I mean, can he do it virtually? Can he play virtually from his hotel room, and maybe that could offset some of this? I mean, like, what do you do in this situation? I mean, what can change? He doesn't need a vaccine in his hotel, I assume.
Look, if Novak wants to join us in Decentraland at any point, he's more than welcome. Absolutely. Look, we're used to situations like this popping up in January. I think we expect the unexpected every year when the Grand Slam comes around, and we know there's going to be players that are injured or aren't able to attend for one reason or another. This just happens to be a very unique scenario popping out into play this year. So,
I do think it's interesting. Sorry, go on.
Do you think it does affect, though, the demand for virtual products, NFTs, and the virtual experience that you're trying to provide with this?
Look, no, I don't think Novak competing or not competing or being turned away to go home because he doesn't have the appropriate documentation affects how many people will get to come into Decentraland. I think we've done a great job of promoting this to the community, both the crypto community and the tennis community, and we'll continue to do that in the next 2 weeks leading up to the event. And I think we're going to see a good crowd and a good attendance in the event too.